Hello, friends. Welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado. Focus on WSIB edition. I'm a week behind on this segment of my channel. I spent about a week and a half doing some work with WSIB Settlements. We launched 3 new features to our app. And tools that members can use and people who require help with their WSIB claims. So that was pretty exciting. So it did put me behind a little bit, but back on schedule here. I hope you're doing well. Today is Friday, end of the week for everybody, and it's an exciting time. I've got my Friday afternoon beverage. It's pretty chill. And it's pretty tasty. Some would compare it to a really nice cocktail down south, sitting on the beach. It tastes like that, but I don't have the beach part of it. But you know what? If I'm going to do a video like this, I can't do it with a straight face and or without pulling my hair out or poking my eyes repeatedly, because it's really fucked up, this whole thing. So anyway, today we're going to play, let's play make-believe in the land of pretend. Now bear with me for a sec here. But to play, all you need is to have a WSIB claim. You're qualified. And the rules are, the facts don't matter. You can be a superhero if you really, really, really want it. And you can earn more money than you will ever need. When you put it that way, holy shit, maybe I should get back into the land of make-believe. You know, people, this organization would do everything and stoop to the lowest point in humanity to screw people over. And it doesn't matter how much resistance they get. It just seems to fuel their machine. And eventually it's going to have to come to an end. There are a lot of different individuals and organizations that are talking about some of the same issues. It's also a political issue, so, and I'll get into that in a moment. But there are a lot of people talking about it and trying to affect change. Let's see where that's going to lead us, because over the past decade, it really hasn't done a whole lot. And that's the whole issue of deeming. That's what they do in the WSIB's land of make-believe. One of those organizations is the Ontario Network of Injured Workers Groups. Reputable organization. It's been around for many, many years. And they do a lot to bring to the surface a lot of issues that injured workers are facing today. They did a great job with the Whistleblower report, prescription overruled. I talked at length about that in one of my previous videos. And they've launched another one in May of 2019 about the whole issue of deeming. Great report, well done, good statistics. And but are we getting anywhere with it? So in their report, there's a portion there that I think it's worth highlighting. There's a lot of it, but that would require a 5-episode series. But this really demonstrates and brings to the forefront just how destructive the WSIB's practice of deeming can be, and how much of a negative impact it has on injured workers. So in their report of May 2019, I'd like to put this up here so you can see it. The question is, who gets deemed? characteristics of workers without jobs. Almost half of workers who do not return to their original employers do not find work after finishing their WSIB, quote, work transition, end quote. The WSIB itself has identified the personal factors that make a worker less likely to find a job, and they are woman, lower wage earners, those with fewer transferable skills, those with English language barriers, in need of literacy and basic skills, in specialized services, those with psychological issues, older workers, and those with greater impairments from their injuries. So, based on my experience of having dealt with the WSIB for over 30 years and having handled many cases where deeming was applied, I can account that they're pretty much on the money when it comes to that list. And those are the people that are most vulnerable and the ones that pay the brunt of this practice, which is not only unfair, but it's inhumane, particularly in a country that is as rich and full of resources like Canada. And many people came here with dreams and aspirations to do well in their lives, build a good life for themselves and their families. And these people are just dream crushers. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about anybody. So in the land of make-believe, the WSIB's land of make-believe, the report also makes this statement, which I think is very profound, and that is, deeming assumes 100% employment for everyone, regardless of disability, skills, age, gender, or language ability. So basically, if you have a pulse, you're employed, period. Nothing else matters. That's their assumption. And, long ago, I heard the saying, and I kind of agree with it. You can't fix stupid. And that's true. But you know what? I believe it's contagious. And I believe a lot of people in that big building and other buildings throughout this province, and you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. I think that they've been predisposed to that, because nobody seems to be giving a shit about what's right and what's wrong. So indulge me a minute here. So if their assumption is correct, which I believe it is, that what the WSIB believes is that 100% their deeming practice assumes that 100% of everyone is employed. So you're on WSIB for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, however long it takes to go through the whole return to work program and then work reintegration, or LMR as it used to be called, and blah, 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 and working with these return to work specialists. And so apparently all of this is to prepare you for getting a job. And so you have an interview and you're sitting in front of an employer or a prospective employer. And the employer asks, well, what have you been doing the last couple of years? Where have you worked? Well, I've been in the WSIB's land of make-believe. And that really shouldn't matter, because the job that you're interviewing me for, it's already mine. So we might as well just dispense with this interaction and just give me the job, because In the WSIB's land of make-believe, that job's mine. Yeah, I know. There's a whole lot of sarcasm in there. Of course. Because on what fucking planet does this happen? People have to deal with real issues, real life scenarios, the things that actually happen in real life. When you're looking for a job and you have a disability and you don't have any experience or very little experience in whatever occupation they're trying to get you into. And there may be other personal factors, such as you don't really know the language that well. You've only been in the country for a year or 2 years. And you don't have time to go and learn English because you're working to feed your family. Or maybe there really aren't a whole lot of jobs in that particular vocation, and the ones that are available are being taken by those who have experience and are qualified. But these are real world challenges that everybody has to contend with, except for the fat cats in the WSIB's land of make-believe. Yes, the fat cats, those fuckers who aren't good enough to push paper and pencils to anybody or take care of a herd of cats. Is it a herd of cats? I'll stick to that one. All they do is scheme to screw you over. They don't know what it's like to not have a job. Because every time you get screwed, the fat cats can look at how they're going to, get another bonus or get a promotion or, for screwing more people over or an increase in their salary. In the land of make-believe, all of these things can happen. But that's your land of make-believe, because for them, for the fat cats, they're sipping cocktails while everybody else is struggling to get their lives back together. I said it's become a political issue too, and it has. Wayne Gates, an MPP an NDP MPP from Niagara Falls, he's been trying to make change, and you got to respect what he's doing, regardless of whether you're liberal or PC or NDP. You got to respect what he's doing. He's a lone wolf. He introduced a bill back in 2019 to change the WSIB's practice of deeming. The bill's titled Respecting Injured Workers Act. And it got past the first reading. But you know what? Most bills get past the first reading. They just give you a lollipop. But you know what? He was persistent, and he introduced it again in December of 2022, so a year ago, December 8th. I mean, it remains to be seen what will happen. My gut and my experience tells me that it's going to die, just like the previous one. But we can always be optimistic. And I know it's very, very hard when you're getting dumped on all the time. It's hard to see the sunshine when you've got all of this crap being dished out when you're trying to get your life back together. But it's good to have hope. This is what the crux of the bill is, and what Mr. Gates talks about. So I'm just going to read it to you because I think it's important, and I'm going to put it up here. So Gates introduced a bill at the end to end deeming for injured workers on Wednesday. That was last year, a year ago. And so basically it states, if passed into law, Gates' bill would end the practice of deeming. Deeming is when the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board decides the worker is able to earn amounts they are not actually earning on the basis of suitable and available work they do not actually have. That's a big reference to the land of make-believe. As an example, if a worker is injured on the job while making $22 an hour, the WSIB may determine that while that worker can't go back to their old job, they may be able to do another job at $16 an hour. Whether the job exists or not, the WSIB may remove that amount from the worker's benefits. So if you're getting loss of earnings benefits, they're going to reduce those loss of earnings benefits by that amount, whether you're working or not. And so he goes on to state, people are already struggling with cost of living, said Gates. It's wrong to take more money out of their pockets or out of the pockets of people who were injured at work based on hypothetical jobs they don't actually have. Make sense? Of course. To a person living in the real world. No worker who's injured on the job should be living in poverty in the province of Ontario, but that is the unfortunate reality today. For as many as 50% of folks who are injured on the job, frankly, it is unacceptable and needs to change. 50% of folks. Gates' bill would amend the Workplace Safety and Insurance Act so that the WSIB would not determine earnings based on employment a worker doesn't have unless the worker refused the job in bad faith. And that means that if you've given an opportunity and you refused it, okay, I could see that. My bill would protect injured workers by ending the practice of deeming, said Gates. Injured workers deserve better. We should be providing the support they need, not punishing them when they are acting in good faith. The employment insurance system already works like this. It's just common sense, which is true. The employment system is fair and already works in the manner that he's describing or proposing. Gates previously introduced the bill in 2019 in the previous legislative session. It passed first reading, but as I indicated earlier, the government chose not to move forward with it. So, my friends, I normally don't endorse a particular political party, but you know what? Remember this, when the PCs or the Liberals are looking for your vote in the next election, remember this, because whether or not you're an injured worker, you could be the next person living in that WSIB's land of make-believe, and believe me, you're not going to like it. So whether you're an injured worker or not, remember what Gates is doing, because he's the only one with the balls to do it. You don't see the PCs or the Liberals doing it. They don't give a shit about you. So, friends, in next week's episode, that does it for today. It's Friday. I don't want to overwhelm you with all this, and my cocktail, the ice is starting to melt. I'm going to talk about an update on the bill, what's happened since December of last year. I hopefully get a quote from Mr. Gates. I'm also going to talk about the tribunal's position on the matter, because I believe that it is the most important organization and their position matters. I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about how to fight back against these bullshit policies from people who have been infected by the stupidity virus and live in the WSIB's land of make-believe. And hopefully, you don't have to go there. All right, friends. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. For those of you who are regulars to the channel, you probably heard me talk about some changes to WSIB settlements. We've actually introduced a couple of new features to our app and the system that we have. One of them is the medical objections. I believe there's 8 letters that are available on the app, each one with just a simple click. Fill in a couple of sections. It takes less than 60 seconds to do that, and you can upload it directly to the WSIB, objecting to pretty much every decision they make regarding medical, and a demand for details when they make those decisions from them before you proceed with an appeal, as is your right. So they're drafted. All of the relevant sections are included and easy to do, because what we want to do is flood them with these letters every time they make a decision that's based on medical, whether they accept or deny medical treatment, whether they blame everything on your pre-existing condition, whether they deny a null redetermination or a permanent impairment reassessment, or they deny that your condition's deteriorated, or whether they deny a secondary condition that's related to your work injury. So all of these are there specific to these issues, easy to get and easy to upload to the WSIB. So that's one of the tools. I'm very, very happy about that. We've also introduced the WSIB case. Let me see if I can untangle my tongue. Okay, that's good. The WSIB case audit. I welcome you to take a look at that. There's a short video on the website that I did to talk about how important it is to have a WSIB case audit. It's not a file review. It's a case audit. Very, very different. The impact is much greater, and it gives you a better perspective, a better understanding of what you need to do. And we're also adding a new feature that we are working on, which is to fight the deeming practice. And I hope to have that available for announcement in my next episode next week. All right, friends, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to become a subscriber. It's free. Hit the notification bell and you get notified every time I come out with a new video. To my subscribers, I want to thank you for sharing my videos. Over the past 8 months, I think now, we've gotten thousands of views, 200 subscribers, and we've been able to help many, many people. And I can see how this is really helping injured workers from all over the province. That's my mission, to touch every injured worker, to reach every injured worker, and let them know that we have a system that can help them. Okay, friends, enjoy your weekend. It was great for me to be able to share this information with you. I hope that some of it is helpful. And as always, take care.